Hello students and welcome to the discussion of swaps model 4 of financial derivative. So today we'll take up the first question on the swap transaction. So the question goes like this. So here we have two companies by name Microsoft and Intel, right? So the details are being given. The Microsoft and Intel wishes to borrow a certain sum of money. What is a certain sum? As I said, like principal amount is not the concern as what is that it is going to exchange the cash flows, right? So the principal amount is not been mentioned, so we don't have to worry about it. Certain sum of money and have been offered the following rates, right? So company Microsoft Intel, the fixed rate is been given where Microsoft can borrow the fixed rate of interest on its own at 11%, whereas Microsoft can borrow the floating rate at LIBOR plus 0.4, whereas Intel can borrow at a fixed rate of 12.6 and LIBOR at the rate of LIBOR plus 1%. Okay, this is a given details, right? So Microsoft wants floating rate is what it is been given, right? So when I say Microsoft wants floating rate, it is very clear to understand that so under a swap transaction they want to convert their existing borrowings into the floating rate. Now since there is only two options which has been given, fixed rate and floating rate, so that we need to understand that since they wanted to convert or they want floating rate of loan under a swap, so we can assume that so they have a presently the loan in a fixed rate that is at 11%. So Microsoft can be assumed that they have a loan at the fixed rate, so they want to convert that loan from fixed rate to the floating rate. They wanted to pay in a floating rate, and Intel wants fixed rate loan. So when Intel wants fixed rate loan, it should be understood that they have a floating rate loan that is LIBOR plus 1 presently. So they want to move to the fixed rate loan. This is what the objective for entering into the swap. They approach a swap banker for facilitating the transaction for a fee of 0.1%. So swap dealer is one who is a intermediary between the Microsoft and Intel, and he is charging 0.1% for together. Okay, draw a swap that is acceptable by the both the companies. Okay, this is about the given information. Let's proceed. Okay, so what is that? The first thing that we need to do is we need to first identify the absolute advantage and the comparative advantage for the given. The one condition is that the company which would like to go for a swap, they need to have the present loan in any of this advantage. Either they should have an absolute advantage, or the worst they should have a comparative advantage. Okay, let's understand here what is that. So as we're looking at the given table and the data of fixed rate and floating rate, we can easily test it out that the Microsoft Limited is having an absolute advantage in both fixed rate and floating rate, because Microsoft can borrow the loan at 11% and a floating rate they can borrow at a LIBOR plus 0.4%, which is less than the Intel. Okay, whereas Intel has a comparative advantage in floating, because in fixed rate the difference is 1.6, there is a larger quality difference, whereas in a floating rate the difference is only 0.6. So we can say that the Intel has a comparative advantage of 0.6 over the Microsoft. Okay, this is the step 1. Coming to the step 2, right? So we need to understand their present obligation, right? Let's assume that Microsoft is having a loan at a fixed rate. So since nowhere the data is being given, right? So based on the objective what they would like to exchange, the other interest rate that we are assuming that they are having a fixed rate. Okay, or the other way to understand is they should have their present loan where they have a comparative advantage. One is the hint. The second hint is, since there is only two interest rate, one is the fixed rate and the floating rate, then if they want to convert to the floating rate, it is as simple to understand that they have a present loan in a fixed rate. So let's proceed that step 2. Let's assume that Microsoft is having a loan at a fixed rate. Presently they have a loan at a 11% at the fixed rate. In a swap they would like to move to the floating rate. Fine. Similarly, let's assume that Intel is having a loan at a floating rate, that is LIBOR plus 1 before the swap. Now under swap they would like to move to the fixed rate. This is about step 2. Step 1 is about that advantage. Step 2 is about like identifying the present loan, right? What is the step 3? Step 3 is what is the objective for which they would like to get into the swap transaction. Okay, so first objective is very clearly given that we are not trying to define here. Microsoft wants to borrow a floating rate of interest is the first objective. Since I have shown in a diagram which is not required to show in a problem when you discuss, right? Just you can write only the 2 points, bullet point, that is Microsoft wants to borrow a floating rate and Intel wants to borrow a fixed rate. Just for your understanding, I just shown you the graphical diagram here in the step 3. You're not supposed to show that graphical diagram in the step 3. You're supposed to show in the network diagram in the next step, that is in the step 4. Just to understand, let's step 3 look at. Microsoft wants to borrow a floating rate of interest. As I shown you that Microsoft is presently having fixed rate of loan, which we have understood in the step 2. Okay, then they wanted to convert that to the floating, which has been shown by a red color. So it want to pay under a swap a floating rate, a symbol which is in an arrow mark which is showing towards the swap dealer is what they wanted to pay, right? So Microsoft presently paying a fixed rate of loan 11% to the bank or a lender, which is again is showing an arrow mark which is present. Blue color indicates present, red color indicates under a swap. So what is the rate of interest? Still we don't know. That we are going to work out in a process of swap transaction. Just to understand, they want to move to the floating. Similarly, Intel wants to borrow a fixed rate of loan, right? So the red color arrow that Intel wants to pay in a fixed rate, the arrow mark is shown towards the swap, whereas present loan where Intel is paying to a bank in a floating rate, which is shown in a blue color arrow mark towards the bank, that is LIBOR plus 1. Okay, step 4 is what we need to present in a solution, right? This is how it exactly looks if you just club together, right? For company Microsoft and Intel, right? So when you club together, it looks like this. This is what we need to show. So once the problems get over at the end, again we need to come back to the step 4 where we have drawn this network diagram and write actually what is the floating rate and fixed rate, right? Right now, since we don't know, we are just shown a network diagram blankly. Microsoft having present loan in a fixed rate of 11% wants to convert to the floating rate where you want to pay swap. Intel, which is having a floating rate LIBOR plus 1, wants to pay in a fixed rate, right? This is about step 4. Coming to the step 5. Now we would like to calculate the total cost of borrowing, right? What is the total cost of borrowing without swap? When I say what is the total cost of borrowing without swap, it means if bank doesn't approach to a swap dealer, if the bank would like to convert on its own without taking the help of any intermediary, right? What would be the cost of converting the one present rate of interest to the desired rate of interest, right? So since Microsoft wants to convert that into floating rate of loan without swap, the cost of floating rate of loan to the Microsoft would be LIBOR plus 0.4. Similarly, for Intel, right, cost of borrowing without swap transaction. Since the Intel wants to convert to the fixed rate, right, without entering in a swap transaction or without taking the help of intermediary, if they want to convert the cost of borrowing in a fixed rate for the Intel, it would be 12.6%. Fine. Simplifying that, we get LIBOR L plus 12.6 plus 0.4, right? It will come as L plus 13. That is equation 1. Let's indicate. Similarly, we need to calculate total cost of borrowing under swap. Now, under swap, what happens? Rather borrowing on its own, they approach a swap dealer, right? So, swap dealer will identify the desire of a company and look at which company having the present loan, right? Presently the loan are the company which is having a comparative advantage. So under the cost of borrowing under a swap transaction for Microsoft, Intel would be helping, or Intel is having that loan presently, or Intel is having the comparative advantage, or Intel will raise that loan and proceed to help to Microsoft. So for Microsoft, the cost of borrowing that they would like to convert that in the floating rate, it would be help with the Intel. So Intel's floating rate is LIBOR plus 1, right? If you look at the diagram there, LIBOR plus 1, right? For Intel, right, what is the cost of borrowing under swap? Since for Intel under swap, if they approach, they will approach to a Microsoft. So Microsoft fixed rate of loan is 11%, right? That is L plus 1 plus 11 comes out to be L plus 12, that is equation 2. Okay. Now step 6 is about simplification of equation 1 and 2. So we need to subtract the equation 1 and 2, that is higher equation minus the lower equation. So let's L plus 13 minus L minus 12, so the difference get over and we'll get difference is 1%, right? So next thing what is that we need to do is we need to detect the bank charges or the intermediary charges. What is the intermediary charges here? So it has been given as 0.1%. So 1 minus 0.1%, it is comes out to be 0.9 is what the benefit. Since now this benefit has to be shared equally among the given parties. Since there is only two parties, so I'll be sharing this benefit of 0.9 saving among the two parties. So I will divide 0.9 divided by 2. If there is a 3 parties, I need to divide it by 3. Since it is only 2 parties, I will be divide 0.9 divided by 2. So the difference comes out to be 0.45. Okay, this is what the saving in the cost for each of the company. Okay, now let's proceed to question step 4. So step 4 will show you actual cost and benefit analysis under a swap transaction. Okay, so where you have shown the cost of merger without swap and under swap first, followed by the network diagram where we need to update it. Okay, so as I said, like this has to be updated in the step 4 of a network diagram. Just for your understanding, I have shown you here. So actual updation should happen in the step 4 of the main network diagram. Okay, let's understand for Microsoft. As we know that Microsoft would like to convert from a fixed rate to the floating rate. If they try to go directly in the market and try to convert the fixed rate to the floating rate, the cost of borrowing for a Microsoft would be LIBOR plus 0.4. Okay, under swap transaction, what happens here is, so they will be having a saving in their cost of borrowing by 0.45. Okay, so it's not that only one company will get benefit, other company would be lost. So the benefit has to be shared among the two companies equally. So in the previous step, we identified there is a benefit of 0.45 for each party. So I will just show you under swap transaction, the cost of swap without swap is L plus 0.4 minus 0.45. Simplifying this, I'll be getting LIBOR minus 0.05. So what does this indicate? LIBOR minus 0.05. So whatever the present rate of interest, it has been prevailing, the current floating rate of interest minus 0.05. Okay, let's say LIBOR, let's assume LIBOR is 10%. So what would be the rate here, floating rate? The floating rate would be 10 minus 0.05, it would be 9.95%. Okay, so that is whatever the present it is 9%. So 9 minus 0.05, it is 8.95%. So based on the current rate of interest on that day, where they need to pay minus 0.05. Fine. So here I just shown you on the right hand side, if you look at Microsoft presently having a fixed rate of loan 11%, they want to convert that to the floating rate, right? In the step 4, I have not written the rate of interest. What is that floating rate that Microsoft would be paying under a swap? So now I am updating that as a LIBOR minus 0.05, that is been colored in a red, in a green color, right? So Microsoft is paying a floating rate of LIBOR minus 0.05 to the swap dealer, right? So in return, the swap dealer will collect and pay to the Intel what is the actual loan Intel is having, right? Intel will pass it on that loan of floating rate to the bank here. Okay. Now let's look at the total cost of borrowing for an Intel. Without swap, the total cost of borrowing for Intel, it is 12.6. Right. So Intel would like to move to the fixed rate. So presently, if you just look at right hand side, it has been shown the diagram. Intel was having a present loan in a floating rate, that is LIBOR plus 1 was the loan. Now they would like to move to the fixed rate. As just I shown you the only the arrow mark, that is Intel wants to pay a fixed rate to a swap dealer. So how much that they would like to pay, right? So now what the cost of paying for the Intel would be 12.6 is the actual loan without swap, minus there is a benefit of 0.45. So 12.6 minus 0.45 is 12.15. So 12.15 is a fixed rate that Intel is paying to a swap dealer, right? So okay, so Intel is paying a 12.15 to the swap dealer. Swap dealer in return, right, pay a floating rate of LIBOR plus 1 to a Intel. Intel in return will pay to a bank A. Okay. Now the cost and benefit has been clear, which is highlighted in a green color. Now I will go back to the step 4 and update these results. Results are nothing but the benefit which I got it under the swap transaction, that is LIBOR minus 0.05, which I shown you that Microsoft is paying a floating rate to a swap dealer, and 12.15 the Intel is paying to a swap dealer of 12.15. Now look at this. This is what the step 4 which is updated. Now you need to very carefully look at and try to understand here. So I'll just proceed from the left hand side, that is from the Microsoft. So Microsoft presently was having a fixed rate of loan of 11% from a bank A. So it cannot go to the bank and ask him to change the rate of loan. So Microsoft went and approached a swap dealer and said that I want to convert from fixed to the floating. So under a swap, Microsoft would be paying a floating rate of loan of LIBOR minus 0.5 to a swap dealer. In return, the swap dealer will pay floating rate of LIBOR plus 1. Just look at, it is receiving less floating rate and paying more floating rate, right? It is very costly. It means if I assume 10% is a floating rate, so Microsoft would be paying 9.95% to the swap dealer, right? In return, the swap dealer has to pay 10 plus 1%, that is 11% to the Intel. Okay, so why is that swap dealer is bearing the cost? Because in other way, in a fixed rate, it is having a saving. So just try to understand right now. Microsoft is paying a floating rate of LIBOR minus 0.05 to the swap dealer. Swap dealer in return pay floating rate of LIBOR plus 1. Now you will be asking a question, why is that swap is paying a LIBOR plus 1 when it is been receiving LIBOR minus 0.05? If you just look at the Intel, what is the obligation of Intel? Intel is having an obligation of LIBOR plus 1, right? The same obligation that on the behalf of Intel, swap is been paying to the Intel, the same cash flows would be forward from the Intel to the bank B, right? So floating rate of LIBOR plus 1 is the actual loan of Intel, that is LIBOR plus 1. So swap is paying LIBOR plus 1 to the Intel. Intel will pay back LIBOR plus 1 to the bank B. So bank B is no more get affected. In the same way, bank A is also not been get affected. Now let's understand from the Intel's point of view. Intel is having the present rate of loan in the floating rate of LIBOR plus 1. Under a swap transaction, they would like to convert to the fixed rate, right? Under a swap transaction, what is the rate that Intel is paying? So Intel would be paying 12.15% to the swap dealer, right? In return, the swap dealer will not pay the same 12.15 to the Microsoft, right? So swap dealer will pay only 11%. Why 11% the swap dealer is paying? Because Microsoft is having the loan of 11%, right? So it will retain 12.1%. It is a gain. It is a profit that it has been making 1.15. There is a loss of 1.05. If you look at the difference between these two, there is a 0.1 is a difference. Plus 0.1 is a difference. That plus 0.1 is nothing but the commission what swap dealer is being charged between the two parties, right? So swap will pay only 11%, receive 12.15 from the Intel, and pay 11% to the Microsoft. Microsoft will pay the same fixed rate of 11 to the bank A. It is not the Microsoft is paying, it is the swap which is paying to the Microsoft. Microsoft will forward the same rate of loan to the bank A. This is what a clear picture of a swap. Fine. If you have any query, any doubt, please clarify, and then we'll proceed to the next question. Thank you.